Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another movie review. So this time we got The Nun 2. I saw it on Wednesday. Now look, before I saw this movie, like when they first announced this movie, I was like, why? This movie is not necessary. Why do you need a second part? This just looks like a cash grab. It doesn't have to be made. Cause I feel like the first movie kind of, already did its job and like letting you know everything you need to know about the demon, how it came, how it was sealed off, how it came back, how it eventually went into Lorraine. All right, it done its job. So why do you need a second movie? I was like, why? So first one I thought it was all right because I feel like they weren't actually trying to make a scary, like a lot of scary type horror movie. I feel like they were going more like plot oriented to like let people know the origins of the demon. I feel like that's what they were going for more rather than to make a scary movie. So yeah, after watching the second movie, I'm like, you know what? I stand by what I said. They did not have to make this movie. This movie was completely unnecessary. But what bugs me more is that this movie was somehow better than the first one. I found it better than the first one. So like, not only y'all make a movie that didn't really have to be made, but you also made it better than the first one. Like, cause I was like, the first movie already came full circle. It did everything. It showed how it went from Frenchie, like how Frenchie got the demon, how Frenchie was involved with all of this, and how it went from him to Lorraine. All right, done. So why do you need a second movie? After watching this movie, I'm still thinking the same thing. They didn't have to make this movie. This was like a cheap cash grab, of all the Conjuring universe fans, including myself. So didn't have to be made. They didn't really add a lot, any like new information or whatever about the demon. I mean, they did kind of add something about Valak being an angel once, and which was rejected by God, and that's why it's a demon now, and was trying to get back its power. So that was the only new information that was added about Valak in this movie. But everything else we already got from the first movie. So I just thought this movie was not necessary. Didn't have to be made. Like, yeah, but it was better than the first movie. This one was like, even though I don't get scared at horror movies anymore, but I would say it had a lot of scares, a lot of jump scares. How I determine this is, based on the screams that is in theaters. The more screams there is, then I would say, yeah, the movie was scary. Um, but yeah, like Valak didn't give a shit of this movie, bro. Like the thing was just going around killing everybody. Like there was a lot of killings in this movie. Just going around burning people, like just smashing people. Like man, that was a bunch of killing in this movie. It was more violent than the first movie. And yeah, like it just didn't give a shit. It just went after everybody. You don't care even if you like gets like one little glimpse of you, you're done. Either you're gonna get haunted, get chased around, you're gonna get targeted for the whole movie. Valak didn't give a shit in this movie. We were just going around killing everybody, but they kind of explained to you why all the killings were for. Just to like get the power of the becoming the angel again. But that ending, bro. Like again, I'll probably keep repeating this for this review, however long this is gonna go, but not necessary. Because we already like the only thing this second movie proves is that these church people they suck at like driving away Valak because they failed in the first movie, obviously, because it possessed Frenchie, and then we thought, all right, it goes from him to her, all right, that's how. But no, now we have a second movie, and it shows that Valak is indeed here, and then they do chase it away at the end of the movie, and well, once again, because they failed because we know what's gonna happen. We know it eventually comes back and possesses Lorraine. We already know. It's as if the director of the movie didn't watch the previous Conjuring movies or whatever. It's like the MCU now, where they didn't like see the previous stuff before making this movie, and then the fans of the stuff are just like, bro, didn't you see this movie though? Like, it didn't have to like. We already know what's gonna happen, so all they're doing is just showing how these people suck at driving away this force because it keeps coming back. So does that mean Lorraine didn't actually stop it, or can Valak come back in the future? Is that what they're implying here? That it can't be stopped at all. Like no matter how many movies they make, it's gonna keep it's gonna keep coming back. Is that what they're implying? And also that ending, they kind of implied that Frenchie could lead a normal life with yeah, they had that girl from Narnia in this movie, man. She's like, I've not seen her in any other movies except for Narnia, but yeah, I was like, yeah, right. They made it seem like he could have a normal life, a girl and everything. But we know what's gonna happen. We know how he's gonna die. We know everything. Like that was just how like what is this? Like that's what it said. It's as if the director thinks we're all idiots or anything. Or the director just didn't see the previous movies when he was making this one. I don't know what the deal was like oh man. Even the nuns, I don't know. Like, there was this nun. Her name was Deborah. That was the character's name. I'm not trying to be racist or whatever, but she was played by a black actress, and I feel like she didn't have to be in the movie at all. I don't know why she was in it. Well, I was just thinking maybe she was just there to like fill the diversity quota of Hollywood movies, but she really didn't have to be there. Like she didn't really add anything. She was just there. She was the character where like the main nun, Irene was his name. Like she was just the character who was there to listen to whatever Irene was going to tell her, like about her past, or like literally for the audience, for the audience to know about her past, or why her dad was like this, or her mom was like this. So I mean, it would make her crazy if she was talking about herself. So they just added this character, Deborah, there. To basically listen to everything she had to say. That was pretty much her point in the movie. She didn't really add anything. She was just screaming for no reason throughout the movie. Like people were just laughing like whenever she was screaming, bro. I don't know what. Didn't really add anything to the movie, and like I don't know, she wasn't actually behaving all nun like. She was smoking and she was just talking like yo mama. Like the way she was talking, like I was like, do nuns behave like this? Like, do they smoke or talk like that? I don't know. So the ending part, like, I don't want to say too much because this movie has a lot of religious connection. Like, I don't want to say and being the target, of the, anybody, But it just didn't make sense to me because I know, like, I don't know what religious people believe in out there, but I don't want to go too far in that hole. Yeah, that ending kind of was ridiculous, but I guess I don't know. I don't want to say I don't want to say much because it involves religion. Yeah, that kind of sucks because I can't really say about that ending because like they turned red wine into the blood of Jesus Christ. Like in the first movie they defeated Balak with the blood of Jesus, and then in this movie they didn't have it anymore, and then they were like all the wines kind of came out. Like they were in this basement with a bunch of wines, which I think used to be a wine factory or whatever they said, and like they just touched the wine. Like all of them were in the wine. Like the nuns, the Valak was all in the wine, and then they just these two nuns just touched the wine, and then it just became the blood of Jesus, and then it just defeated Valak. Apparently, they said they believed that the red wine was the blood of Jesus, so the red wine just turned into that. Bro, I don't want to say much about this because, like I said, this is religious stuff, but I don't want to say the wrong stuff or offend the wrong people when it comes to religion stuff. Like, I mean, I don't really care, but if people get offended, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll just stop talking. Anyways, yeah, I would say it was better than the first movie, but totally unnecessary. Didn't have to be made. It's just what I stand by for this movie. Good scares. It had good scares. Uh, yeah, like they didn't really feature Valak in the form of the nun a lot. Like in the first movie, we saw the nun, Valak as the nun a lot, but in this one, I think it was much less. Rather, it was like coming in the form of a lot of people, and most of the time we were just standing in the background for 2 seconds and then just disappearing. But no, actually, I feel like it appeared more. I don't know. I, I feel like it was sometimes I feel like it was less, sometimes I feel like it was more. But there was more scares. All I would say is, They kind of got creative, I would say, with the scares and the killings. But yeah, it was more violent than the first one. Like I said, just going around killing people, just scaring everybody. So yeah, I'll actually watch it again. Not gonna lie, because just for the scares, I thought this had good scares. Yeah, just not necessary. Didn't have to be made. I'm just gonna be repeating that throughout this review, man. I'm telling you, it just was not necessary. The movie was just not necessary at all. They didn't have to make it, but they did. So yeah, the post credit scenes were just the Warrens getting a call. So yeah, we already know what that's gonna be about. So, uh, anyways, yeah, I don't think there's much to add, but I don't think I'm gonna rank this movie at, like, any high, really high or whatever. It's better than a lot of the movies, but there was some stuff which I thought, because like if I'm just watching this movie just as a standalone movie without connecting with anything else, I would say this was good. But sadly, because it does connect with with the universe and stuff, and we already know what's gonna happen with certain characters. Since this is like a prequel in a way, like yeah, that just kind of ruins things. So yeah, that's the only reason. If this was a standalone movie, didn't connect with anything, I would say this was good. This was great. Like I would rank it pretty high, but just because of that reason, um, you know, with the whole Frenchie thing, with them failing to beat Valak, like we know it's gonna come back. So what's the point of being happy that y'all beat it? It's gonna come back eventually. You gave us fake hope that Frenchie could have a girl and everything, but now we know what's gonna happen. We know he's never gonna have a normal life. He's gonna come back. Valak is gonna come back eventually. So yeah. Anyways, that is all for The Nun 2. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, comment down below, what you thought of this movie if you've already seen it, and give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews. So yeah, that's about it. So I'll see you next time, or the next time there's a new movie coming out. So yeah, that is all. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.